In the headlines, a search by the Coast Guard for the body of a Haitian woman killed in Portsmouth on Friday. Dominica imposes a temporary ban on the importation of fruits from Italy and Spain. And new president of the Dominica Calypso Association, Davidson the Observer Victor, wants to update the 4-decade-old constitution. I am Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil. Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, crowds gathered outside the Portsmouth police station on Friday after news broke of the killing of a Haitian woman in the town. The Coast Guard conducted a prolonged search in the Portsmouth Bay area trying to recover the woman's body. One man is in police custody assisting them with their investigations. The Coast Guard undertook the search after they were informed that the victim's body might be in the sea. When Channel 5 News made contact with police late Friday afternoon, we were told the search, which began earlier in the day, was continuing. In other police news, a breakthrough for investigators into the shooting death of a 21-year-old male in Salisbury. Roger and John Baptist, an adult male of the same community, has been charged with the murder of Tyrone Benjamin. He appeared before the magistrate's court on Friday. The body of Tyrone Benjamin, not Jolly as was previously mentioned, male adult of Salisbury, was found lying in his blood at his home in Salisbury on November 12. Police say during the investigations, 2 firearms, namely one 12-gauge shotgun and a .38 revolver, were recovered and seized for investigations. Also in the court on Friday was Eardley Julian of Salisbury, who has been charged with 3 counts of firearm-related matters, to include possession of firearms. In other top stories, a review of the Constitution and better documentation are among top agenda items for new president of the Dominica Calypso Association.
Veteran Calypsonian Davidson the Observer Victor, who is serving as president for the first time, replaces Derek the Hunter St. Rose. The former PRO, now president, says he has several ideas which he would like to carry out during his tenure.
I think over the years we have succeeded very well in doing things in sometimes, not at all times in a structured way, but the way things go in right now in the society, the way the world moving, it is always better to have things in a more structured way. Things are supposed to be more documented, so you can always have documents to refer to. Another idea that we supposed to at least get going is that a lot of times you hear around that Calypsonians are not interested in their own thing, you know, and we as the executive may have some responsibility to take in that regard, because we are the leaders and the other members are the followers. So is how we lead them, they will follow.
Observer pointed out that the Constitution, which was created 4 decades ago, needs to be reviewed to keep up with the times.
One of the ideas that we have is to review the Constitution, because the Constitution is now 40 years old, because our association was put together in 1978. the same time Dominica became independent. So we are actually 40 years old and the Constitution was then. So we have to review the Constitution and look at some of the things that we can update, because some of the things that are on the Constitution, I went through it day before yesterday, the entire document, and there are certainly some of the things that we need to bring up to date.
The rest of the executive reads: Murphy Sai John Jules, Vice President; Narin Trendsetter Murphy, Treasurer; Daryl DeBob Bob, Secretary; Kelly DeGhost Williams, Assistant Secretary Treasurer; and Derek D. Hunter St. Rose, Public Relations Officer. Other executive members are Gregory Caressa Revere and Shirley Lady S. Charles, both of whom are new to the executive, and Arthur Bassi Pascal. Observer says these new faces on the executive will help bring fresh ideas to the body.
In agricultural developments, the Ministry of Agriculture has placed a temporary restriction on the importation of fruits from Italy and Spain.
This comes against the backdrop of a fruit fly outbreak in those countries. Head of the Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit, Nelson Laville, explained the restriction was put in place to protect the country's people and agricultural sector.
Italy notified that they had an outbreak of fruit fly, which is the oriental fruit fly, and this fruit fly is not present in Dominica. But this fruit fly also has 300 hosts, which includes citrus, avocados, bananas, and so forth. And because of that, they do not yet have it under control. So Italy and Spain have reported presence of this fruit fly. And so we are putting a temporary restriction on the importation of fruits from Italy and Spain.
According to Laville, Dominica does not directly import fruits from Italy and Spain. He says this temporary restriction does not necessarily mean the absence of grapes, apples and pears this Christmas.
We don't import directly from Italy and Spain, but we import from Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe imports from Italy and Spain. So a lot of the grapes that you see coming in and we sell during Christmas season and stuff, which come from Guadeloupe and Martinique, possibly they would have come from Italy and Spain. There are also alternative sources for grapes and apples, such as Canada, the US, Chile, Argentina. They produce some of the fruits that we love to eat during the Christmas season.
Fruits from Italy and Spain were not the only agricultural commodities which were issued a stop order from entering Dominica. A ban has also been placed on the importation of romaine lettuce from Canada.
There's an outbreak of E. coli in parts of Canada and the US. And it was found on romaine lettuce. Now, a lot of our importers bring in romaine lettuce. So what we've done is actually put another restriction on the importation of romaine lettuce. We are not issuing any permits for romaine lettuce, and we are asking persons to stay away from romaine lettuce for now.
The ban was issued 2 days ago, but already Laville is discouraging people from purchasing and consuming romaine lettuce. He also called on shopkeepers to be responsible in protecting the public's health.
Those that are already present, we are asking them to remove them from the shelves and destroy them. This is an action not only in Dominica, but some of the other regional partners have done that as well. Some of our colleague islands have done that as well. This is being done in the US. And so we have put a temporary ban on the importation of romaine lettuce.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are,
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
there's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Welcome back. The public is being assured that there is no plastic cabbage in circulation on the island. That's the word from the Ministry of Agriculture's Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit. Earlier this week, a video went viral displaying what appeared to be a plastic cabbage which was purported to have been purchased from a local supermarket. Head of the Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit, Nelson Laville, says investigations into the matter have concluded and there is no plastic cabbage being sold in Dominica.
We collected some of those samples and we proceeded to test it in our labs. And the cabbage is real cabbage. The only thing is that the cuticle, which is a part of the leaf, is a little thicker than we are accustomed to. So our assumption is it's because of the variety of the cabbage. You would notice that although cabbage is green, there's always this white glossy layer on the cabbage, and that is the cuticle of the cabbage. So once we were able to remove the cuticle and test it, it proved to be plant tissue.
Laville went on to explain that based on the unit's procedures, any suspicious agricultural commodity would have been intercepted at the port of entry.
On arrival of any commodity, agricultural commodity, plant protection is mandated to do inspections. So we wanted to ensure that our inspections were properly done, number one, and that the commodity was actually wholesome for consumption. If it was plastic, then of course that would be an issue. Once somebody wants to import an agricultural commodity into Dominica, they must have an import permit from us, from the Ministry of Agriculture. Once the import permit is issued, that import permit is sent to the exporter from that other country. They have to meet all the requirements listed within the import permit. So, if an exporter, having received an import permit from Dominica, exports plastic cabbage to Dominica, that will be a serious violation of international laws.
The Minister for National Security, Reuben Blackmore, has condemned the opposition leader's actions in encouraging protesters to gather outside court proceedings on Thursday. Mr. Blackmore told the DBS News that the action was calculated for a particular purpose. But he says he is elated by the fact that the majority of Dominicans exercised prudence and reason and realized that this was a blatant demonstration of cowardice on the part of the opposition leader who does not want to answer to his charges. Blackmore says if one allegedly transgresses the laws of the state and the matter is brought before the courts, he has to seek redress before the courts and not in the streets, and to ask people to come out to seek to prevent a vital arm of the government from exercising its functions. And the leader of the opposition, Lennox Linton, has expressed concern over the hiring of senior counsel Israel Khan from Trinidad to prosecute a case against him and other members of his party.
That case stems from events which took place in Roseau following a UWP meeting near government headquarters in February 2017. The UWP leader, charged with incitement and obstruction of the police, is expected to appear in court on the 22nd of January 2019 for preliminary investigations. Former Prime Minister Edison James has also been charged with incitement. Mr. James is overseas and as a result was not in court on Thursday. Dr. Thompson Fontaine is charged with incitement and obstruction. He is out of state. The lead prosecutor, senior counsel from Trinidad, Israel Khan, asked the court to issue a bench warrant for Thompson Fontaine. Nicholas George, Joshua Francis, and Joseph Isaac are all charged with obstruction. Obstruction is not as serious an offense as incitement, and so these summary matters have been adjourned sine die. Mr. Linton believes it's a waste of resources to bring in senior counsel Can from Trinidad to do what can be done locally.
The same people who are so shamelessly wasting the money of the people of Dominica are the same ones who are fighting now to tell the elderly citizens of our country that they don't deserve $200 more on what the government is giving them, on the $300 that the government is giving them every month. They are fighting against $500 for seniors a month, but they can bring senior counsel from Trinidad and assistants for hundreds of thousands of dollars to persecute members of the parliamentary opposition. It is not right. It is not just.
To end the news, the headlines again. A search by the Coast Guard for the body of a Haitian woman killed in Portsmouth on Friday. Dominica imposes a temporary ban on the importation of fruits from Italy and Spain. And the new president of the Dominica Calypso Association, Davidson the Observer Victor, wants to update the 4-decade-old constitution. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access all past newscasts on the YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.